Philadelphia was voted the most walkable city in the country, and it also has traffic with an average commute time of 28.1 minutes in the suburbs and surrounding areas. What does all this mean for real estate? I'll explain next. If you get some value out of this or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call with our team about walking versus commuting and where you want to live in the greater Philadelphia area, just tap on the link in the comments and we can help you. Philadelphia was voted the #1 walkable city in the country by USA Today. I was shocked. I've lived here basically my entire life. I did not expect Philadelphia to be #1, and it's been the third year in a row, and there's some reasons behind it. And when you also look at that, we found that Philadelphia traffic, a lot of people think Philadelphia has some of the worst traffic in the entire country, and the average commute is 28 minutes. It's 18th out of 50 metros. So we're going to talk about walkability versus commuting and what that means. So to give you some perspective about the walkability here, Philadelphia was voted #1 in terms of walkability. #2 was Providence, Rhode Island. Never been there. #3, Burlington, Vermont. Never been there. These are much smaller cities, by the way. #4, Columbus, Ohio. Let's keep going. 5, Boston, Massachusetts. Surprising to me that Philadelphia was more walkable than Boston, just from having been to Boston. My brother went to Boston University. I've got a lot of friends there. That was a little shocking. And I also know they're kind of spread out with a lot of their neighborhoods. And once you get outside of downtown Boston, there's not a lot of sidewalks there. What Philadelphia does have, and when you look at this here, there's 26 blocks from the Delaware River on the east to the Schuylkill River on the west. It's only 2.4 miles from Penn's Landing on the Delaware to the Schuylkill River Trail, meaning you can walk from one end to the other in less than an hour. So that obviously has something to do with it. And when you think about how the city was planned by William Penn, well, it was planned by someone who grew up in the 17th century. It's built on a grid. He envisioned green spaces, public squares, and numbered streets perpendicular north-south and east-west. Many are named for trees, and they go from softest wood to hardest wood. So there was a lot of thought put into Philadelphia when it came to this. And it makes a lot of sense. When you look at these other cities that are being mentioned, #6 is San Francisco, California. #7, Chicago, which I thought was very walkable but very big. #8, Savannah, Georgia, another small city. #9, Washington, D.C., and #10, New York. New York's too big to walk. If you're going from the Upper East Side to the Lower West Side, you're in trouble. So when you look at these cities, I'm not that surprised it's walkable. And when you look at what that means for the city, it means that there's going to be people that want to live downtown in Center City. There's going to be demand for housing by the public squares, by Rittenhouse Square, by Washington Square, close to the major transportation to get in and out of the city. To me, it's a big boon for the city of Philadelphia. And it's also been named one of the top 10 U.S. cities for food and drink by Food and Wine magazine. So you got all these lists that are acknowledging what a lot of us know in Philadelphia. There's a great food scene, great restaurant scene, great bar scene, and it's a very walkable city when you're in Center City, especially, I think of Center City really initially was like Vine to South. Now it's kind of expanded to Washington and Girard is kind of where Center City goes, where people think about walkability. I was at the Eagles Parade, was easy to walk around, didn't need a car, took a train in, pretty simple. So all of this stuff makes sense, and it's going, for people that want that walkability, Philadelphia is a very affordable city compared to that. But then there's the flip side, which is when you got to get outside of Philadelphia, what does traffic have to do with this? Because this average commute time of 28 minutes, it ranks 18th among the 50 largest metros, according to Consumer Affairs, and congestion's a lot less. Now, it probably doesn't feel that way if you live in Philadelphia because you've got the Schuylkill built between a river and a mountain. And you look at this, and it was, last year, Philadelphia was 21st behind Denver, Boston, and Nashville. So, I mean, the numbers changed a little bit. And when you think about it, they look at these three key metrics when it comes to traffic: daily commute time, length of weekday congestion, and rate of fatal car crashes. And each category was weighed differently. The 28.1 minutes was 18th highest between Tampa and Austin, which is surprising. They got less roads. The congestion time is calculated for weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. using Federal Highways Administration for urban congestion report that they put together. And it's the average hour of numbers spent during specified times when road sections are congested, speeds less than 90% of free flow traffic, and fatal car crashes. Philadelphia was 7.63 per 100,000, was the 14th highest between Detroit and Cleveland. So you're seeing that it's very walkable. Traffic's in the top 20, but we're one of the fifth or sixth largest cities and metro areas in the country, so I think it's to be expected. So what does this mean, right? And I think the things to think about here is that if you're able to walk to work, that's going to put a premium on the house that you're looking for. That's takeaway number one. You see a lot of people move to Center City. We just helped a client do this where they were commuting to work. They had to commute right around 30 minutes, and now they're able to walk to work. They relocated from the suburbs to the city. So there's going to be some value there for people that can get to work pretty easily. I know Nick here, it takes you, 10 minutes to get to work, right? That's a quality of life thing. I have a longer commute time than that. That's okay. And people are valuing their commute times now that people are going back to work. So walkability is going to be important. Commute considerations in the suburbs, like Montgomery County, Chester County, Delaware County, the 28.1 minute average commute suggests that suburban residents working, they face reasonable travel times. That's half hour is pretty normal. Suburbs like Bryn Mawr, Media, people always want to be able to get to work. It's when you get out into Chester County, it might be a little longer. That's a little prohibitive. And obviously with this looming SEPTA potential shutdown, I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. That could hurt real estate values in some places where people wanted to be close to the train along the main line, as an example. So when you look at the broader market implications here, Philadelphia's manageable traffic conditions, because they're not that bad given the size of the city, combined with the SEPTA network, combined with the walkability, that's going to drive up prices in neighborhoods like Manayunk and Fishtown and Roxborough. Anywhere there's that downtown area, right? Rittenhouse Square has always been very pricey. Media, Westchester Borough, the list goes on. When you see these walkable areas, you're going to see higher prices there. There's a reason for that. There's also a lot of investor interest there. So knowing that Philadelphia is very walkable, I imagine you're going to see more people maybe look for that walkability when they're at a place where the school systems aren't an issue and they're okay sending their kids to the school system in Philadelphia. And it says a lot for what's going on downtown there. So there's a lot of positives here. And it's going to depend on the neighborhoods that you're interested in. So whether you want to commute, whether you want to walk, or maybe you want to do a little bit of both, whatever it is, if you got questions, you know where to reach us. Just click on the link right in the comments.